Welcome to the Healthy Living Sessions podcast, where we talk about more than just health and fitness. We talk about many aspects of life. While fitness and health are important, there's more to life than just the gym. We live in a society that expects everything now. And that's a huge problem, especially being in a company that's service-oriented. It is so hard to please customers. Customers seem to want their cake and eat it too. That old adage we always hear about. You can't have your cake and eat it too. They always seem to want everything though. And that's such a huge problem. They always want it to be the best product out there. They want it now, and they don't want to pay hardly anything for it. And the problem is you can't give them all that. And so somehow you have to convey to your customer that they can only get 2 out of 3 of those things. They can only get good, fast, or cheap. 2 of those 3 things. The good and fast is going to be expensive. Good and cheap is going to take a lot of time to make. And fast and cheap is going to be an inferior product or an inferior service. So we have to think about that when we talk to our customers, try and let them know exactly why it is that it's going to be that way. And when we go to ask for service or ask for some kind of help, I think with mentorship, if you want to learn the valuable skills and you want to learn fast, it's going to be expensive. If you want to learn the really valuable skills, but you don't want to pay a lot of money, then it's going to take a long time to learn it, because there's plenty of people out there that are showing you exactly how to become successful on social media, but you have to take the time to figure out what that is. Maybe you have to buy a book from them, buy some small training package, whatever it may be. I mean, you probably could do it all for free, but the thing is, it's going to take you time, because you have to figure out the processes on your own based on their example. And lastly, you can get it fast and cheap, but you're not going to get the results you want. So maybe you pay a little bit of money to some supposed guru there on social media, and yeah, you might get some results, but they're not going to be near as good as if you would have went with somebody who's actually doing the work, who's actually showing how to do this stuff. So when you're going out there trying to find a mentor program, whatever it might be, you need to think about these 3 things. What's more important to you, the long game or the short game? Are you trying to just get a quick return? Then maybe you just go with the fast and cheap, but the inferior product. But if you're trying to go for long term, maybe you go for the good and fast. That way you can, and it's going to be expensive, but that way you can start applying it right now. But yes, you paid more. Or you can go for the good and cheap, but it's going to take you a lot longer to figure out exactly what you need to do, and it's take you a lot longer to get to the goals that you have set out for yourself. So really, to me, the last one is not a good option. Fast and cheap, that's not a good option at all. You should either go with good and fast or good and cheap. Now, I'm not talking about cheap as in the product itself being cheap, but cheap as in somebody's not putting in as much time with you. So it's going to take a longer time to get it done, because maybe they're only putting in once a month with you. They're checking in with you once a month, giving you coaching, versus every day you're able to have contact with them. You're able to talk to them 24/7, texting, phone calls, whatever. That's going to be pretty expensive, but you're going to learn way faster that way. And yes, it may be from the same source, so they both may be good, but it just depends on the speed you want these things. So think about that whenever you're going out and seeking some mentorship. Think about what your end game is. And I think that will ultimately help you figure out where you want to be. Thank you all for listening to the podcast today. I hope it was impactful to you. If you feel you have a friend that can get value from this episode, share it with them. Also, please review and subscribe to this podcast. I can't get this message out without your help. Until next time, have a blessed and healthy day.